fight that round?
Well, I think it's going to go to the way of Eugene because of the grappling. He's too strong in the grapple.
He looks very, very strong in the grapple.
For Daniel.
Yeah. But then again, like I say, Daniel's been having these great international bouts overseas, and again, he looks strong. He looks focused. But again, it maybe those later rounds, Tony. In the later rounds, that we'll just see how fit he is in those later rounds.
Well, as I say, we always say it: one kick, one punch can do it,
and turn it around.
And no one can epitomise that more than Daniel Tai, because it only takes one, and he can end it. But I think Eugene, as you've pointed out, very clever fighter. Bill Seth in there. They're not going to take any chances. They've heard of the big power punches of Daniel Tai. I don't think they're going to see any change from their tactics. They're going to try and soften Daniel up, and then probably if they can do that in the 4th and 5th round, maybe then they'll stand back and take a few clean shots at him.
I think I might have mentioned this before. Bill's a very, very good trainer. He teaches his guys to use their brains in the ring there, and Bill will be just telling Eugene, just go quietly, just keep doing your business, and I think Eugene will spark it up in the last few rounds.
Yeah, well, Eugene played it very smart in round number 1. He never got the legs hurt at all, which it can happen if you go try and fight Daniel Tai down low. So he was keeping right out of range. He was either out of kicking range or he was in too close for kicking range, and great tactic. Bit of a slip there from Daniel as he goes back to the corner. Of course, this time of the night, that's always the possibility that the corners are starting to get a little bit wet and a little bit dangerous. But of course, these fighters a lot of experience, and they have got also good sportsmanship. So that was a bit
south of the border.
Yeah, a bit down Mexico way, and a big overhand right. It was a lazy punch there from Daniel.
Well, this is a full elbow and knee fight, so I'd say it'll be just like the chopper fight. The elbows will come out in the probably in the 3rd or 4th round. So
definitely, yeah, I agree with you there. Both of these fighters, there's neither of them have really got into a rhythm, but that's sort of the way that Eugene likes to fight. So the fight's going his way because he can adapt to that style of fighting. Daniel hasn't adapted to it.
No.
And,
Yes, good knee. Very good knee by Eugene.
Well, that's what you've got to look out for with him.
Yeah, that's what we said right at the beginning, is those long knees of Eugene.
Of course, he's a very proud man too, is Eugene Ekkelboom, and that Casino Cup means an awful lot to him. And that's why he's come in here at a disadvantage in the weights to take that cup back home.
How do you see the fight so far, Tony?
Well, still all going Eugene's way, but I'm still waiting for Daniel to... I'm still waiting on Daniel to land one decent one. Eugene slipped the big right hand there, and probably lucky for him that he did, because it had plenty on it. But Daniel, he's firing more shots than a drunken duck shooter at the moment, and he's been about as accurate. But if one does land, he can get a result. Fighting at a distance, left hand there just caught the mark, but not much power on it. Oh, the beautiful knee there.
Beautiful knee by Eugene.
Yeah, well, Eugene's he's really on a roll here. He's winning the grapples with ease. He's dodging all the big armour that Daniel Tai's throwing at him.
Maybe just a bit worried about Daniel dropping his hands just a little bit low, and those knees of Eugene's coming up and catching him just like what we just saw there.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good tactic or a good thing for Eugene to start fighting at a distance yet, because Daniel Tai has been in with all the best fighters, as you say, in Australasia, Ian Jacobs, Gurkhan Oskan, and only he's never been stopped as such. He's never been put down by a punch. He has been stopped with the leg kicks from Ian Jacobs, but that was quite some time ago. I don't think Eugene's going to be able to hurt him from the outside. I think he wants to soften him up a little bit more. But I think what you said about Daniel maybe getting a little bit more fatigued as the fight goes on has already started to happen, and that's not a good sign for the blue corner. Of course, it's always a possibility when the fighter does step in at short notice. Daniel's not known for living a monk-like lifestyle, and so when he's not training, maybe eats a little bit more or drinks a little bit more or a bit of both than normal. So, but he's a fighter that you cannot count out, Peter, and I wouldn't be counting him out at the end of round number 2, that's for sure. And I think if Bill and Eugene over in the red corner start to think that they're on top, that would be the danger time.
Danger time, yeah. I agree.
But of course, that's probably highly unlikely with the experience of Bill Seth in the corner. But it is a possibility that just creeps into your head that, yeah, I've got a fighter, I've got him. And, you know, maybe we've seen a little bit of that in the previous fight where Chopper thought that he was going to come here and knock Dominic Davana out. And it doesn't always work out that way. It
doesn't always work that way.
No.
Like I say, I've mentioned this before.
Round 3.
It's very, very hard to win away from home. So, but so far the guys from Australia have done very, very, very well.
Yeah, well, Eugene here tonight. I think last time we were here, the Aussies had a clean sweep, but tonight Eugene's really fighting for his country because they're down 2-0 at the moment, and he wants to not only take the cup home.
Great knee by Eugene there. Oh, excellent counter right hand by Daniel.
Well, Eugene's starting to fight at that distance now a little bit. Now they get into a bit of a grapple, and Daniel shows a lot of strength.
Now, what would they be saying now in Daniel's corner, Tony?
Well, I think they can only just say defend and don't get into any grapples and try and fight from the outside. Now, the way the fight's going, it's working his way, but it's not of his making because Eugene's decided to fight it more from the outside. But I think that's working into the corner of the blue, into the blue corner, you know, for Daniel.
Very, very strong in the grapple, young Eugene. Very strong in the grapple.
Definitely. That was a nice little rip to the body there from Daniel Tai. Didn't regain his feet to do anything. If he could have followed that up with a right hook or, you know, doubled it up and used the left. He's probably got one of the sharpest little in-close left hooks in the business, has Daniel Tai. But great leg kick from Daniel.
Eugene very composed. There's that left knee of his again, going in there.
Definitely, and Eugene's using the ring well. He's using the angles as well. He's using different combinations. He went upstairs and then down to the knee. And
great knee.
Obviously, he's a great knee fighter, is Boom Boom.